Hello and welcome. We're Metis, and we're going to be telling you about a very reputable and trusted healthcare provider, nonprofit organization, Planned Parenthood. So let's get started. The mission of Planned Parenthood is to provide comprehensive reproductive and complementary healthcare services in settings which preserve and protect the essential privacy and rights of each individual, to advocate public policies which guarantee these rights and ensure access to these services, to provide educational programs which enhance understanding of individual and social implications of human sexuality, and to promote the advancement of technology and research in reproductive health care and encourage understanding of their inherent bioethical, behavioral, and social implications. Founded in 1916 with an idea from an inspiring independent woman that all women should have the care and information they need to live a strong and healthy life so that they are able to fulfill their dreams. It was established upon nurses, educators, and founder Margaret Sanger, whose activism helped change the world. Today, Planned Parenthood is affiliated with more than 600 healthcare centers across the U.S. They are not only the nation's leading provider and advocate for high-quality, affordable healthcare, but also the nation's largest provider in sex education. Numerous aggressive abortion restrictions have been passed in recent months, including states banning the procedure at only 6 weeks and some earlier. On May 14, 2019, Alabama passed a bill banning abortions, with the only exception being is if the woman has had an ectopic pregnancy and to avoid a serious health risk to the unborn child's mother. Rape and incest, however, is not one of these exceptions. On May 29th, Louisiana passed a heartbeat bill, which would allow for abortions preventing a woman's death or serious risk of the substantial and irreversible impairment of a major bodily function. But again, no exception for rape or incest. Mississippi, Ohio, Georgia, Missouri, Kentucky, Arkansas, Utah, and Iowa have all started pushing for the end of or putting restrictions on abortion. A group of men telling women what they're allowed to do with their bodies is beyond obscured. This is why what we do right now is extremely important and will have a huge impact not only for our futures, but posterity as well. In today's society, every little thing is crucial for Planned Parenthood. We must focus on the importance of what we mean to people across the country and show that we will not allow for our reproductive health or rights to be questioned or taken away. Our focus is to make sure people are protected. With the legislations consistently creating defunding fights, and now Donald Trump enforcing a lot of those fights, spreading awareness and keeping Planned Parenthood alive is crucial. A single tweet, a post on Instagram, writing a letter to your legislator, or going in person are all extremely beneficial ways for you to help. We plan to reach individuals between the ages of 16 to 40 looking for a safe, affordable, and judgment-free environment for their healthcare needs. We're looking for those who want to inspire and provide encouragement to both men and women in need, to those who seek a place of comfort and may not have anywhere or anyone else to turn to. A few of our audience personas are Katie, a late 30s college graduate, a successful dental hygienist who spends her work week part-time at 2 different dental offices. Because of this, she does not qualify for insurance at either establishment and has to find healthcare needs on her own. Brittany, a full-time cocktail waitress in her late 20s, she's recently come into some medical issues, and her budget is really tight when it comes to finding reliable medical care. And finally, we have Mandy. Fresh into her 20s, this college student is interested in educating sex ed to younger children at her new job at the local elementary. She's been in a few short-term relationships, but wants to keep up on her own personal healthcare needs. To further the success of this nonprofit, we've decided to combine our internal sales process with our audience persona's subscribing process. By utilizing characters such as Mandy and Katie, we've zeroed in on how and where for bringing on new potential patients and supporters. The branding message for Planned Parenthood needs to encompass something that is important to the goals of the company. It also needs to inspire, motivate, and make them want to trust and visit their local Planned Parenthood. Saying that every person has a right is stating a fact. Asking them to choose theirs incorporates the values and the purpose of this reputable nonprofit. Social media is a great platform to reach people and, in the process, build activism. Taking advantage of this by sharing content that is informative and engaging enough to earn likes and retweets is a useful and beneficial tool. Planned Parenthood is in the midst of facing an important issue in our country concerning abortion, and making sure that the correct information is out there is imperative. Creating social media content needs to have trustworthy information and has to have the ability to reach a broad range of potential viewers and supporters to make this content go viral. Using social listening tools would also be a great way to see how the content is doing in regards to who is viewing it and how popular it is. Podcasts are a fantastic way to create brand awareness. In addition to brand awareness, podcasts can provide an appreciation to current issues that involve your brand. Planned Parenthood can use podcasts to talk in depth about the issues that they're involved with, like the abortion laws that are sweeping the nation. They can also encompass different point of views from various individuals. The successfulness of the podcast can be measured by the number of downloads and subscribers it accumulates. The content themes represent Planned Parenthood as an organization that is informational, educational, and also provides expert healthcare. Planned Parenthood has been in the forefront of the news and current events recently because of the new abortion ban in Alabama. We want to keep people educated on their reproductive health rights, as these recently passed rules and regulations can impact people in our community long term. We start with June 2019, which happens to be Pride Month. So, to kick things off, our first full week is focusing on Pride and the LGBTQ community. Week 2 is Men's Health Week. Here, we plan to educate our viewers on men's health issues. There are a lot of potential patients that may not be aware of the solutions we provide men at their local Planned Parenthood. We accept everyone and anyone, regardless of race or gender. To finish off the month, we spend a week flashing back with our theme of Through the Years. A lot has changed since 1916, but there are still a lot of struggles that we deal with today that we did back then when we first established. Lastly, we close out June with the Education and Awareness Week. We highlight a vlog and podcast interview with inspirational female leader Dr. Ruth and ask about her views on affordable healthcare, abortions, and much more. A quick content example for the month of June is a video of Planned Parenthood advertisements throughout the past few decades. The first week of July, we highlight our history and bring it back to 1880. We have a short video to talk to our biggest supporters and founders, as well as a Q&A session with the head of Planned Parenthood, Dr. Leanna Wynn. For the second week of July, we will be focusing on the collaboration with Shout Your Abortion. We will be covering personal stories from women who have gone through abortions and learn the reasoning behind their choices and the process in which they had to go through. Each day, we will be taken through a different woman's life and learn her struggles and how she overcame them. The third week of July, we will be focusing on a partnership with World We Want and emphasizing on the hardcore truth of abortion with children, getting Q&A with child specialists and learning stories from the children themselves. Lastly, to close out July, we will be focusing on post-abortion help. We will be learning about the process in which mothers go through after abortions and the struggles they encounter. We will also learn about support groups as well as how to start your own. Here is a great content example from the month of July, focusing on how abortion has changed for the good and bad over the years. Some of the biggest abortion cases will be highlighted, and we'll show you how they have either helped or hurt this medical procedure back then and for us today. The first week of August is Vaccination Week. During this week, we take a look at vaccination pros and cons. Getting vaccinated as a child used to be the norm, but today, people are avoiding it, which draws the question, are they putting others at risk, or is it the safest thing to do? The second week of August is focused on stopping the abortion ban in Alabama. It's been talked a lot about in this past few months, but we feel it requires the people's attention. A woman's right to choose is an issue that should be made very clear. The third week of August, we'll talk about sexual health. Being open with your partner is important, and we'll show why through infographics. We'll also be sharing a series of Facebook Lives and videos highlighting the importance of safe sex, communicating with your partner, and information on well women's exams. The last week is Cancer Awareness Week. This will consist of informative posts about cervical and testicular cancer, HPV-related cancers, the importance of breast exams, and insights to more preventative medical checkups. This educational week of content will feature medical professionals, which will be very impactful to our audience. Our August content sample is a podcast that looks at the scary truth that some women have to face when they choose to get an abortion, from dodging protesters to having to be escorted to clinics to avoid harm and harassment. On August 1st, this podcast will be available on the website and on their social media site to spread the word on how this is becoming a problem. Thank you for watching, and we hope that you feel motivated to help make a change by supporting this nonprofit. The listed sites are the sources used to gather our information for this presentation, as well as the programs that were used to create the content examples. This team effort was broken down by Naomi getting us started with the executive summary, Jess continuing with the marketing demographics, and Andrew putting together a content strategy. Each month of the editorial calendar and samples were handled equally, Jess covering June, Naomi July, and Andrew August. Our planning meetings were held through voice chat, video chat, email, and text, and our collaborative programs used were OneDrive and Google Docs.